Given the guidance you received in the pre-draft process, how do you think you've used it in what areas to help the team and also yourself for the future?
I think the biggest thing was just being more versatile on the offense and defensive side. I pride myself on defense and being able to, switch on the guards, guard bigger guys, working with Corey to become stronger in the weight room. So where I'm able to, switch the 1 through 5 and just being fast and using my athleticism to be able to stay in front of guards, using my length. So I think everything I learned from that process, I just been, putting it in this off season and working. But right now, I'm focused on helping Texas win a national championship. So I'm using some of the things they said I need to work on as far as, an individual, but I'm putting that into, a game aspect to become better for the team.
Thank you.
Thomas Jones, please.
Mitch, good morning. Hey, what's it been like working with, kind of alongside Shedrick? You guys are what, 5, 6 games into this. What's it like playing with him, and how do you kind of tweak your game to play with him?
Alongside who? Say that one more time.
Caden Shedrick.
Oh yeah, I mean he's great to have. I think how versatile he is one thing. He's about 7 feet tall, but the way he moves for his size, it's great to be able to go out there and even switch with him where he can guard a guard, and we can get into some of that movement where it's me, Brock, and Caden at the same time, and all three of us are just switching all over the court. So having a player like that, I mean, it helps our team so much defensively. Then offensively, having a guy that we can dump it into and let him go to work. Having a guy that can even space the floor out and set those screens and the way he rolls and him being athletic enough to go up there and finish alley-oop. So I mean, he's a big improvement to our team.
Terry Middleton, please.
Dillon, good morning. So you're having a great start of the season, and that's probably the outcome of a lot of hard work in the preseason. What specifically were you working on to get better, and now you're seeing the results of that hard work?
I think just a lot of the work that I put into the offseason was to just help my confidence. I think that's what it came down to, working with, all the GAs, working with Coach Corey, just working with all the guys, KJ, to just help my confidence. I think that's some of the biggest things. A lot of times when I catch the ball, I wouldn't even look to, attack the glass or look at the hoop at all. So I think the biggest thing was just building that confidence. And, the coach staff has done a great job with that and has put me into a mindset where, I catch the ball, don't be scared to look to that hoop and go get a basket for the team.
Thank you.
Eric Henry, please.
Dillon, this time last year, you were just a true freshman, kind of getting your feet wet into the college game. This year, now that we know this time around, what's come easier for you? What's easiest about, now being a sophomore and having, your feet wet with a full year of experience?
I think just going through that freshman year, I tell you, Big 12 ain't no joke. I can tell you that. Any young guy who's coming out of high school and is trying to, go somewhere that is looking for somewhere that's going to help them improve and get ready for the next level, Big 12 is it. Because, coming in my freshman year was a wake-up call. Everybody's strong, everybody's athletic, everybody's fast. So being able to go through my freshman year and learning so much, I think coming back from my sophomore year was easily the best decision I made. And as far as, knowing what it takes to help the team, get to that next level and make it all the way to the Elite Eight like we did last year. But then even individually, I figured out through my freshman year that I got to get stronger. I got to, guard more, rebound more. And then going through that whole process where it was, learning about the things I needed to take back when I came back from my sophomore year. So, I mean, just playing in the Big 12, it's the best league right now. And I think it was a big wake-up call from my freshman year, and it helped me learn a lot coming back from my sophomore year.
Tyler Feldman, please.
Thanks, Scott. Hey, Dillon. 6 games in, some new guys on the team, Smith, Shedrick, just to name a couple. How would you say the chemistry, cohesion is with those guys? What do you like that you've done so far? Where do you think that cohesion can go down the road?
I mean, so far it's been great. RT has always done a great job of, putting the right guys together, not only on the court, but great guys off the court. All the new guys that is on our team now, they fit the identity that, Texas is all about and the culture that we have built over the years that they've built. And so I think just the way they've mashed into with the rest of our team, we want to play fast. So having guys like Max who could, really push that ball, having guys like IT who is big enough to come rebound down to push the ball. So I think, throughout this whole process, like our team and the rest of the coaching staff has done a great job of putting the right guys together on the court, but off the court as well.
Tyler, any follow-up?
No, thank you. Thanks, Dillon.
Noah, go ahead, please.
Hey, Dylan, I think I've seen you do some NIL stuff and just other events with football players. Just wanted to ask, are you going to be able to watch Saturday? What's their success been like for you guys as a program? Anybody you're particularly close with on the football team?
I'm cool with a lot of those guys, Jade, Xavier, Sweat, so all them guys. And I think we learned a lot about them. We learned a lot about their team that helps our team. I remember it was one play that our team was showing where I can't remember the guy's name with the dread. Whittington, is it Whittington? Where it was an interception, and the way he missed the tackle and then came all the way back down the field, chased him down, and made the dude fumble. And they showed that at film first thing in the morning. So, we learned a lot about that team just off their heart, how hard they play. So it's great being able to go out there and support a team like that for sure.
Terry Middleton.
Dillon, so you say that the Big 12 ain't no joke. I'm curious if I know you're getting ready to play Texas State. Is there a team in the Big 12 or teams that you can't wait to go up against this season?
No, not specifically. Every game in the Big 12 is a tournament game. It's really a Final Four game, every team in the Big 12, all the way down from the top of the list to the bottom. So there's not one team specifically, but I can't wait to get started. Last year was so much fun. And now, even the new teams that have joined this league just makes it even better. So being able to go up against teams like Houston and BYU and the UCF, teams like that I didn't get to go against last year for us. So, the way they've expanded this league, I'm just excited for it to start.
Last one for Dillon to Mark Rosner, please.
Dillon, you mentioned working on versatility. Where do you think you've been able to compensate with that versatility for the absence of Dillon Dessou?
I think the biggest thing has been rebounding. I want to pride myself on rebounding, and so I'm working every game to get as many rebounds as I can. Being able to help Caden down low and help some of the other big guys like Z and Caden without Dillon not being here. And then on the offensive side, just being able to be a presence on the offensive side for our guards, pick and rolling, pick and popping, whatever, looking to attack the basket. Not having a player like this right now. So, we can't wait to have Dillon back. He's going to be able to open up, the court for the rest of us, and a great addition to the team. Even though we've had him last year, he's going to be great to have back. So just working on the little things, that matters right now, especially even the defensive side. Dillon was a player who was blocking shots. So not having him right now, I'm trying to do as hard as I can to, defend the rim.
Dillon, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
I'll
Dillon.
go ahead and raise hands. We'll get Coach Terry ready here very shortly. Coach, can you hear me okay?
I got you, Scott. How you guys doing today?
All good. We'll go around the room. Thomas Jones, you're first up, please.
Hey, RT, I was asking Dylan what's it like playing with Caden. Last year Dessou's kind of like Caden, but Caden's pretty unique for y'all. How has that changed Dylan's game playing with Caden on the court at the same time?
Well, I think again, Dessou gave us a lot of what Caden gave us last year in terms of being an interior scorer, especially the latter part of the year. He gave us rim protection, but he's also one of those guys that can stretch the floor as well. I think, as we move forward and we're able to have all those guys out on the floor, I think it will continue to give him opportunities to be able to play off those guys, whether he's cutting, 45 cuts we call from the wing, or baseline cuts where he gets a lot of his lobs. He'll be able to play off those guys really well. And I think he'll be able to also come down and get some really good offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds for us as well.
Mark Rosner, please.
Yeah, Rodney, Dillon spoke of one of the things he learned he needed to improve on over the last spring and summer was versatility. Where do you think he's helped with the absence of Dessou in the lineup? He has a little bit of size as well.
Well, he's rebound the ball for us, and I think for DM, we just kept it really simple for him. He needs to play with an elite motor on offense and defense. He needs to be a big time defender where he can switch off and go up 1 through 5. And then he's got to be a guy that crashes the glass and eats the glass, where he rebounds the ball at a very high clip. And if he does those things, he'll obviously give us put us in a great position to be successful here, but also help himself in the future moving forward.
Eric Henry, please.
Good morning, Archie. You talked a lot about defense with this team, and you've kind of said that everything starts with defense. Is there a point in the season in which this team needs to be performing at a certain level defensively when they then evaluate and say, hey, this is kind of how we're performing, you switch things up? Or is just where do you kind of measure, especially with the amount of new guys coming in, like where they need to be defensively in your mind?
Well, I think, again, you try to assess and evaluate where you are. I know in November we worked really hard on trying to establish an identity. And, identity is who you're going to try to be, every day in practice, who you're going to try to be every day in games. And we worked really hard on trying to have a defensive mindset. And, early in the year is not going to be perfect. There'll be a lot of different areas you have to try to improve and get better. And I think our team's working really hard at that. Ball screen defense. I thought our ball screen defense in the last game against a ball screen offensive team was better than what we did in New York, but we came back and we put time in on working and trying to fix our ball screen defense, whether it be, at the line of scrimmage in terms of, where the ball screen is actually happening, or whether it's behind where we have to have really good tags, a high tag and a low tag. And we're getting better. We still got, work to do and work to get better in that area, but we're getting better. Finishing possessions with physical blockouts. We're still a work in progress with that. When the shot goes up, we've got to look to be able to have a physical mindset to be able to put our bodies on people and finish possessions with physical blockouts so we can get out and we can run. But those have been two areas that we try to work really hard on getting better early in the year with our defense. Our ball pressure has been pretty good. We've got our hands on some balls in terms of deflections. We try to have some high hands and activity defensively as well. But, we're getting better. We're work in progress. And I think all season long, you work to try to have a really good defense when it matters most.
Noah Gross, please.
Hey, Coach, ask Dillon about his relationship with some of the football players. And he mentioned that you and the coaching staff showed the football play against TCU a couple of weeks ago where the receiver, Jordan Whittington, chased down the guy and forced a fumble after Texas threw an interception. Just kind of what did that play show to the team, and what is your relationship like with Sark and the football team ahead of their Big 12 championship game?
Well, I have a great relationship with Sark, as I do with all of our coaches on our campus. We have elite coaches. We have elite leadership on our campus. And, we all pull for one another at a high level. Soccer won the Big 12 championship. Volleyball's won a Big 12 championship. Football is going to win a Big 12 championship this Saturday, but Sark and his staff's done a great job with this group. The thing I've enjoyed most about watching the team play this year, football team, is how connected they've been. They've all played for one another. And that's why they're in a position that they're in right now to win a championship. And I do think that play was the first thing we showed that day before we started practice. With our film work, it was the biggest play to me of the season to that point. And it was a play that when you can go over the course of the game. If they score early in that game, then we probably lose that game. I mean, they came back and had a TCU that, had a really good, fierce comeback at the end there. But that play right there really, again, at the start of the game, showed that, hey, there's going to be some adversity. There's going to be some challenges throughout the course of the game. But we have to keep playing. And keeping playing, we stopped those guys from scoring down there and being in a position to score. And we got the ball back. So to me, that was the biggest play of the season. But it showed the grit, the determination, and the want-to of that team.
Tyler Philbin, please.
Hey, Rodney, how are you?
Great. How you doing today?
Good to see you. Hey, I'm just wondering, where you assess the chemistry among the new guys on the team right now through 6 games, and then where you'd like to see that chemistry get to come March, come later in the season?
I think it's getting pretty good. You know, I think, again, the more and more these guys are on the floor together in game situations, because it's, you know, a lot of times we have a pretty high paced practice and try to play with a lot of intensity in practice, but it's never like the game. You know, you can't simulate a game, you know, in game experience, and those guys being on the floor together and being connected on the floor, whether it be in good times, whether it be in challenging times or adversity. Okay, they're able to play through it and know how each other's gonna respond. They're getting to know right now, I think, their strengths and weaknesses of each guy, and you know, just the familiarity of being out on the floor, and I think we're developing really good chemistry. I really do. I think our backcourt's playing really well together. I think our backcourt's learning to play with our front court. You know, we have guys that we can play inside out with. Which again will open up things for them and free up opportunities for them offensively. Defensively, they're able to get up there and have some good ball pressure, knowing that they'll have some rim protection behind them as well.
Tyler, a follow-up, please.
Yeah, just real quickly. Yesterday, Devondre Sweat told us that he came to Texas because he wanted to meet Kevin Durant. I don't know if you saw that clip, but do you have any way in which Texas could make that happen for T. Sweat?
Sweat's been a monster out there on that football field, man. I tell you what, you know, for a guy like him and any of those guys that want to meet KD, man. I mean, KD is one of those guys, he's a Longhorn through and through. And, you know, just him knowing that those guys are one of those guys who wanted to meet him, KD will go out of his way to try to make that happen. He's in the meat of his schedule right now himself, playing an NBA season, you know, so, you know, he's not as always easy to get to right now. And he's super competitive. You know, we tried to get him to do some stuff as well. And he's kind of hard to get right now during this time. It all kind of depends on how things are going. If his team's not doing very well, because that guy's all about winning. And if his team's winning and he's got some downtime and he's on campus, man, we love to connect him with Sweat. And he loved to connect with Sweat. He watches the football games and cheers just as hard as we cheer for our Longhorns every Saturday and stuff. So he's through and through, man. So, you know, next time we get him on campus, we'll definitely make that happen.
Terry Middleton, please.
Coach, good afternoon. So you have an amazingly high standard for your defense, high bar. So far in the season, how would you maybe, I don't know if I'd say rate, but how do you think your team is doing meeting your standard as far as the defense?
I think we're still a work in progress, you know, and again, I think even last season, you know, we really didn't turn the corner until, you know, probably midway through Big 12 play to where we really became an elite defensive team, you know, and so it's a work in progress, Terry, throughout the course of the season. We know we still have areas we have to continue to get better with in terms of whether it be containing the ball, keeping the ball out of the middle, playing with a lot of high energy and activity. I think the biggest thing you try to get guys to do early in the season is to just try to play really hard. Get lost playing really hard. We know you're going to make mistakes. We're not worried about mistakes right now. We'll continue to get better with details, scouting report stuff as the season goes along, but just get lost playing really hard. I do think we're trying to play with really good effort and energy and activity on defense right now. I think as we continue to move forward, we will continue to understand the importance of the details. December's a big detail month for us. Hopefully now we've got guys playing hard. Now they got to lock into the details. You go out the driver, you got to stay in front of that guy. You go out the shooter, you got to run that guy off the line. You go out an offensive rebounder, you got to keep that guy off the glass. But really lock it into scouting report details, how we're defending the ball screen coverage, and things of that nature there and stuff. But I think we're still just scratching the surface. I think we could be really good. I think as we continue to get all our guys in there with the elite level rim protection, as Caden continues to get more and more comfortable with what we're asking him to do, offensively and defensively. Caden is a big time rim protector. Right now, he's got to, still work through a mindset with those shoulders that he can go and clean up some stuff. But You know, we've had some good shot rim protectors here over the years, and Jared Allen and, you know, Jackson Hayes was a good shot blocker, Mo Bamba, you know. Caden Cedric is right in line with those guys. He's an elite rim protector. We hadn't seen it a whole lot because he still got to trust those shoulders to be able to go and erase the mistakes. But you bring him back, you bring the Sue back, man, that really helps. That really helps our defense, and especially our backline defense. I think Dillon Mitchell has done things this year that he didn't do last season. He's given us really good rim protection this season. He wasn't doing that last season, which has been great. But we're getting there. We're building it. We're still a work in progress.
Last one to Thomas Jones, please.
Coach, you sound like a football guy a little bit. What's your football background? Did you grow up playing in Angleton or anything?
I got a little small background in football, you know, but no, you know what? Growing up in Texas, every kid, and when I was growing up, got a chance to play every sport. You didn't really have an off season. You know, nowadays kids specialize in one sport. You know, we played everything. When it was football season, you played football. When it was basketball, you played basketball. When it was baseball, you played baseball, or you went and ran track. But you never were really in an off season. But no, in Texas, man, you're gonna play football. I played football from 7th grade all the way through my senior year in high school, and I was okay at it. You know, I wasn't bad.
Hey,
Thomas, any follow-up?
What was your position?
You know what? I played wide out, and
Okay.
I played backup quarterback. You know, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, wasn't bad. And some little DB until those running backs started getting a lot bigger, man. And so I was up there knocking myself silly trying to hit those big guys. I said, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna stay over in this offensive side of the ball and try not to get hit.
Yeah.
Thanks all. Appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Coach
Appreciate it.
Terry, thank you.